Paul is my childhood friend. In the beginning of the year, I paid Paul a visit in his office. Paul was so excited to receive me. At that visit, Paul very excitedly shared his vision, his goals for the year with me. Among the key things Paul shared with me, he wanted to buy an SUV, a grand SUV at that, and also build an amazing duplex within the year. Paul was so excited sharing this vision with me and showed me his vision board right on his desk. Oh, how amazing it was. See the sparkle in Paul's eyes as he narrated this beautiful dream of his to me as I left his office that day. As the hassles and bustles of the year started, nothing reminded me of Paul again. Till very recently, when I noticed his wife involved in a brawl in the traffic. And just yesterday, I found myself in the very same plaza where Paul had his office, and I decided to pay my friend a visit. Getting into the office, I noticed my friend Paul was right there all by himself because his secretary had left for the day. So then his secretary had left by the time I came. We had so much time to catch up and talk freely. This gave us ample opportunity to discuss just everything and anything. As we were talking, I asked Paul about his new house. Paul looked so puzzled. He didn't even understand what I was talking about. I asked him about the SUV. He looked even more confused. And he asked me, which house and SUV am I talking about? I was confused myself. It dawned on me that there was a problem. I looked around to see if I'll find his vision board anywhere around. It wasn't on the table where it had been during my last visit. So I asked him where his vision board was. What about your vision board, Paul? He in fact did not know where it was. Then it became very clear there was serious problem, and I looked and noticed that sparkle in Paul's eyes during our first meeting was not there at all this time. However, when I asked about the vision board, Paul then realized I was asking about the house he had planned to build this year and the SUV which he told me he was buying. In fact, he had told me he would celebrate his next birthday in that new house and with that SUV. About the house, Paul said he had not even bought a piece of land. And of course, there was no SUV. So we got talking, and the more we talked, the more determined I was to help my friend Paul. In the course of our conversation, when he was explaining how things changed in his business and gave a whole lot of excuses why he did not accomplish his goals, I felt so much for Paul and decided to help him. I relaxed and had an in-depth conversation with him. And in the course of the conversation, I discovered 3 key reasons why Paul did not accomplish his goals. I want to share those reasons with you so that we can all learn from the experience of Paul and make sure neither Paul nor any of us repeats any of those mistakes in the coming year. Now, before continuing with the short story of my dear friend Paul, I remain your friend Nkem Ede, a self-improvement expert that derives joy in helping people to set smart goals, maintain good focus at work, and become much more productive for a more fulfilled life. Let's pay attention to learn all that we can learn from the story of my childhood friend Paul. So mistake number 1, purpose. I noticed that Paul lacked a clear purpose. His goals were not based on any purpose. Our purpose will always live beyond us. When we are setting goals, our goals are supposed to always help us in either little or major ways in accomplishing our core purpose. Paul had no clear purpose, and his goals of the SUV and the house were just to tickle his fancy and for show off. When you don't have a clear purpose for your life, you cannot set goals that will align with that core purpose. This is also the case with so many of us. And this is why in the course of the year, he lacked the motivation to pursue those goals effectively. The correct thing is to list all the goals that come to our mind when setting goals. And we evaluate these goals and identify the goals which will help us accomplish our purpose. We separate these ones as the important goals, and these are the ones we focus on. All the others, we keep them for future reference, written down and kept aside. The second key reason why my friend Paul did not accomplish any of his goals is that he forgot the goals and the why for the goals, the reason for accomplishing them. Whatever reason Paul had for accomplishing those goals, he forgot them entirely by the time he got busy with the day-to-day grind. You can see that even his vision board, which had been on his desk during my previous visit in January, was nowhere to be found. He did not know where it was. And this is what should have been reminding him of those goals every now and again. My friend Paul, in as much as his goals were not based on any core purpose, even if it is to tickle his fancies, he ought to have written down the reasons why he wanted to achieve those goals. He ought to also write down all that he stands to benefit if he accomplished those goals. This is how to set goals. Always write why you want to accomplish the goals and write all that you stand to benefit when you have accomplished those goals. When you write these things down, keep them handy where you can review it or read it to yourself at least once every week. This will help you to regain the excitement, that same excitement you had as at the time of writing those goals. This is what Paul did not do. Paul had no reminder to remind him of his goals and entirely forgot about the goals and the reasons he had for accomplishing them. This is why the sparkle in his eyes disappeared as at this my second visit. He entirely forgot he had a goal. He entirely forgot the reasons for accomplishing the goals. He did not take notes and he did not keep anything handy. Even his vision board that was supposed to be kept where he could always see it, even when he was not looking for it, was nowhere to be found. And this made him forget entirely that he was pursuing any goals, made him forget entirely any reason whatsoever for pursuing those goals, and made him forget anything he stood to benefit when he accomplished the goals. Without this, there cannot be any excitement about pursuing those goals. Let us not make that same mistake. Now, reason number 3 why my friend Paul did not accomplish his goals. Paul did not break down his big goals into smaller goals. Whenever you set a goal, you break it down into smaller goals that have time frame for accomplishing them. When you do this, the entire goals become more manageable, and accomplishing any small goal leads you closer to accomplishing the bigger goals. This is what Paul did not do. When you break down your goals into smaller goals, you will find that not accomplishing any small goal will be a strong indication and a clear early warning that you are on the verge of not accomplishing the bigger goals. And this will help you to begin early to troubleshoot, to replan, and redirect your energy towards achieving your goals. My friend Paul did not do this, and the consequences is that there was no SUV, and by the time his duplex was supposed to be coming to completion, there was not even a piece of land. And by the time he realized he had run out of time, it was already too late to do anything about it. When this happens, the person becomes overwhelmed. This is exactly the case of my friend Paul. As we wish my friend Paul well in the coming year, let's be careful not to repeat the mistakes of Paul by watching our videos, which will always guide you towards setting smart goals. So I hope we've learned from these mistakes of Paul, my childhood friend, and learned the lessons therein. Another year is coming. Let us all move into the new year setting our goals in a smart way. Yes, when I say smart way, I mean setting smart goals. Goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, click the like button and subscribe to our channel so you will always see more videos like this. Subscribing to our channel and watching our videos will expose you to how to set smart goals, stay focused on your goals every day, and become a much more productive and fulfilled person. My friend Paul has subscribed to our channel, and I hope you do. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.